Now is as good a time as any to dive into the very popular theory that Amarantha and Tamlin are mates, because it would be such an intriguing, if now somewhat irrelevant, plot twist. The idea is that Amarantha and Tamlin are mates, and Tamlin rejected the mating bond, which has not sat well with Amarantha. There's quite a bit of circumstantial evidence to support this theory that I'm going to walk through right here. Number one, Amarantha is dead set on bringing Tamlin to her side and making him her consort and lover. Her focus on making this happen brings out that extra crazy in her, how she tortures Claire out of jealousy and hatred, how she doesn't give up on Tamlin no matter how much he pushes her away over the centuries. Maybe she's also trying to make him jealous with Rhys, knowing that they're enemies. There's a lot of curiosity as to why Amarantha is so obsessed with Tamlin and making him hers. Manbear Pig does seem her type. Like, seriously though, with the South Park reference, he is absolutely her type, Manbear Pig, if you've seen any of those episodes. But if they are mates, this would make a lot of sense with her obsession. Like, if she can't have her mate, then oh my God, nobody can have her mate. Reason number two for this theory, Tamlin is desperate to fall in love with Feyre, not just because of the curse, but also because he is trying to prove to himself that his mate is someone else.
Yes.
Or, on the other hand, he knows that they can't be mates because he technically already had one. There's a line in ACOTAR when Feyre assumes that the mating bond between them will snap into place sometime after the wedding. But I don't believe we ever get those same sentiments directly from Tamlin. There's kind of a misconception that he is also thinking this, but if you look at it and read it, it's actually only from Feyre's perspective. So Tamlin either knows it will never happen, and this is only Feyre assuming, or off page, he did say something like this, that it'll snap into place after the wedding, and his hope for their mating bond is his denial that he was indeed mates with Amarantha. Number three, even though he rejects the mating bond, Tamlin killing Amarantha damaged him more than we as readers could ever comprehend, because it is unfathomable to kill your mate. Part of his trauma is from murdering his mate, and this is possibly even an unwanted contribution to his depression that is exhibited in ACOTAR. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but Amarantha will look at Tamlin before he kills her and whisper, "Please," to him. Please have mercy. Please kill me quickly so the others don't drag it out. Please don't kill me at all because we're mates. There's a lot of weight to that please there. Number four, there's also an assumption that Tamlin doesn't have a lot of respect for the mating bond, since he will tell the King of Hybern to sever the mating bond between Feyre and Rhys and take her away from her mate. Now, there's a lot more to it than he doesn't respect the mating bond, but Tamlin may be drawing from his own experiences with the mating bond, or he doesn't put much faith in it. He doesn't see it as a good thing based on his parents' relationship and his own mating bond rejection with Amarantha. So therefore, he's like, fuck the mating bond. I don't care. Give me my girl back. Last but not least, number five, this could even explain why Tamlin's heart was turned to stone. When he rejected the mating bond back at the masquerade party, Amarantha turned his heart to stone and rolled it on up into the curse. So with all of that circumstantial evidence laid out, here are our thoughts. I'll be honest, I was not on this theory train before this deep dive. But after walking through all of that, and especially reading Amarantha's pleas, I'm suddenly like, okay, I could see how this would be possible. Does it have any impact on our bigger story? No, we've moved on from Amarantha and the plot, but it is fascinating to think about this additional possible context. I've been on the record saying I don't think Tamlin has or ever will have a mate. And while I do believe that Tamlin needs some inner self-healing and not a mate, it would be poetic and in character for him to indeed have had a mate. But he rejected it because she's evil, and he is horrified that is who the Cauldron dubs his equal.
Love this. I love this. I really enjoy the idea of Tamlin already having had a mate. Now, whether that's Amarantha, which is my preferred option, I do also really like the idea of Rhysand's sister. I think that there's a lot of plot holes that would need to be filled in order for that to have a really big impact in the story. I love this added element of the please. I can't wait to get to that next episode. Would this be possible to be confirmed in a future book? Or is this just ever going to be up for speculation? I do want to bring up SJM's recent Instagram stories of like 5 or 6 videos, 4 videos, 5 stories of the spring court. And this was on the first day of spring. And it sent the entire fandom into absolute spirals. There were videos of someone making breakfast of like eggs and bacon, like, which was also from like years ago, I think. So it was like something she had to really dig up. So it definitely did raise some eyebrows. Now, a lot of people saw those stories and thinking that that means the next book is going to have more spring court, whether that's through Elaine, Lucien, or Tamlin. Now, whether that's through a Tamlin POV, I highly doubt it. I do not think we're going to get a Tamlin POV. I definitely think we're leaning more towards an Elaine and Lucien. But if it is more spring court focused, most likely, but not most likely, that's pretty much confirmation we will get more Tamlin. Are we going to get a Tamlin, I'm going to call it a Tamlin sob story? Like think chapter 54, but it's Tamlin. Like
I've never wanted something and not wanted something so badly at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
Like, do I even want to say that? Like, no, but like, I would definitely still read it.
I would gobble it up. Like, even if we get a Tamlin POV novella, I will still gobble it up because he is such an interesting character for us to dissect. Do I enjoy the idea of being in his head or being in a third person POV with him? No, but it would give us more insights to his character. I really like this theory that Tamlin has already had a mate. I like it more that he's been with that his mate was Amarantha, because it makes Tamlin that extra, what's the Shrek quote, like the layers, like,
the onion layers.
Onion layers. Like it makes him have more onion layers, which I think for him, it's important to have because it is really easy for the fandom to be like, well, black and white, Tamlin sucks. We hate him. And don't get me wrong, I don't love Tamlin, but I think that the complexity of his character we're not done exploring yet. And I could see that meaning that we get a mate confirmation.
I will say if we did get a Tamlin POV, I would really not want there to be just an excuse for all the wrong things that he did. That is a little bit of a tiny gripe with Rhys, where it's like everything is conveniently explained. And we'll get into that at a later time. And of course, it's because he's love interest and we love Rhys and all of that. But if we got something similar with Tamlin, there are some real nuances of toxic relationship issues that I would have a problem with getting just explained away there. But
Same.
that's, yeah.
No, I agree completely.